Welcome back to Brave Birds News, one of the best places for sports. And if you haven't already, please like and subscribe to my channel. Now, I'm asking you to like and subscribe. Both of those things are free. This is not a membership or joining. I'm asking you to do those things because the YouTube algorithm loves it when you like and subscribe and leave comments and share the videos. And it lets them know that they can push this video out to other people that are similar to you who are looking for DFS information. So I haven't done one of these tutorial videos in a while, and I figure I would do them. Actually love these because unlike my usual videos, which only have a few hours shelf life, and I've done a lot of shorts lately. I know some of you all want long form, so I'm doing this. These tutorial videos can help you for the rest of the season and beyond. So we're just going to talk about some strategy. So we know there's some basic strategy with Showdown, and if I talked about all the strategy, this would be like a series. This would be, like an Encyclopedia Britannica. So we'll start with the double defense, and people love the double defense, and I don't blame them. It's very easy. You don't have to think about it. You just pluck those two defenses in there and go for it. But here is the problem with the double defense strategy. The NFL is set up to be high scoring. They have done everything. They protected the quarterback. They've made all of the rules against defense. Basically, I feel sorry for all the players who are on defense in the NFL because everything is set up to make the NFL games very high scoring. The NFL doesn't want people to pay $200 a ticket to actually go to a game where the final score is 12-6 or 13-7. No. Basically, the NFL wants every game to end 26-24. If every game ended 26-24, the NFL would be very, very happy. So when you're putting two defenses in your Showdown lineup, you're really going for that outlier game. And let me tell you something, I can't hate on that because for most DFS contests, especially if you're one of these bigger contests like I have on the screen, you're going to have to hit the nuts. You're going to have you're either going to have a very chalky lineup that everybody else thought about. And then in that situation, you're going to be splitting that money with 72 of your new most hated friends, or you're going to have an insane lineup if you're going to win that guap. So I totally get it. But just know that most of the time when you're putting two defenses in your lineup, you're just saying, you know what, here DraftKings, here's my money, go buy a casino or whatever DraftKings does with their money. So next you have the double kicker. And I like the double kicker a little more than the double defense, mostly because when it comes to the kicker, even after a touchdown, the kicker is going to, unless, they're being aggressive, the kicker is going to get that chance to get the extra point, and they get that over 90% of the time. So I have less of a problem with the double kicker than I have with the double defense. Now, when it comes to the kicker, there are a lot of things you have to consider. Obviously, games in domes. When you have a game in a dome, indoor, whatever, not nowadays, not necessarily even a dome, it's more just indoors. But when you have a game indoors, obviously, this is a chance for you to do the double kicker. But one little wrinkle in the double kicker option that's kind of popped up lately are the analytics. And the analytics tell these coaches that if it's fourth and whatever, that you shouldn't go for the points because for most of the history of the NFL, it was like get the points. If 3 points are out there, get those points. But a lot of times the analytics now are saying, you know what, I know 3 points are good, but there's a 72% chance you can go for this fourth down and get 7 points or 8 points if you go for the 2-point conversion. So when you're doing the double kicker strategy or any kind of kicker strategy, you have to slow down and say, what kind of coach it's going to connect it to this kicker. How often does this team, go for it on fourth down? Because that's a new kind of thing you really have to consider because these coaches have become very, very aggressive. And then obviously the kind of offense that you have. You have an offense like Patrick Mahomes, the Chiefs offense, and a lot of times they get the touchdown. So even though, in the case of the Chiefs, Bucker can be a good kicker, it's kind of a weird mix that you need. You need an offense that's good, but not too good all of the time. And then obviously if it's not going to be an indoor game, you got to make sure you got to look for the wind. What direction is the wind coming from? We're getting really kind of advanced here, but once again, you're trying to win thousands of dollars. So you got to take this seriously. Unless you just want to donate money, unless you want to be the fish, you just donate all your money to the big time bankers and ballers. You're going to have to get a little more serious about this. Sure, you can luck up and win, but you want to get a little bit more serious. So next you have the double tight end strategy, and that's what the thumbnail talks about. And look, I get it if you don't want to do the double tight end strategy, simply because the number one purpose, at least historically, the number one purpose of a tight end is to block. Yes, they're supposed to block. So you'll have a tight end that might get 75% of the snaps. You're like, ooh, 75% of the snaps, I'm going to put him in my lineup. But they're blocking 90% of those 75% of the snaps. So when you're doing the double tight end strategy, you got to look for routes run. And once again, that data is out there. Some of it's free, some of it's not. But you got to look for routes run. How often does this tight end run a route, or is this tight end simply just a blocking tight end? And is it going to be a situation where just once a year they're going to break off for a random trick play touchdown? Because nowadays, on the flip side, you have a lot of tight ends who are just like 6'5", 275-pound wide receivers. You can think of Kyle Pitts. You can think of Waller before he got injured. Definitely Tucker Kraft. He brought down a Showdown Contest earlier this year in the captain spot. So you can't do this all the time. You got to have the proper setup. Like if Green Bay were playing the Chiefs, I mean, that's a good time for the double tight end. And you know what? Sometimes you can do the triple, tight end, because you can have those teams. For example, the Pittsburgh Steelers, they really rely on their tight ends. They have Jonnu Smith, they have Freiermuth. Who else do they have? They have Washington in there. They've thrown it to Hayward. So you really got to figure out what kind of team that you have when you're doing with this. So let me know your thoughts. Feel free to leave any comments, but otherwise, go out there and win that guap.